Now, starting with the solid state, we will see uh, that is the close packing in crystalline voids. The close packing in crystalline voids. In close packing in crystalline voids, we have studied the different types of close packing in 1 dimensions, 2 dimensions, that is 3 dimensions. In 3 dimensions, we have studied the CCP, HCP, whatever it is. Now, when the close packing takes place, voids also develops. Voids means it is the empty space between closely packed spheres. It is the empty space between the closely packed spheres. So there are 4 different types of voids. Out of that, 2 types we have already studied, tetrahedral and octahedral void. I am not discussing about it. Now we have not studied triangular void. Now you can see when it is formed when 3 spheres are arranged in a trigonal planar manner. You can see the diagram which is being shown here. So it is the smallest void and the radius of that particular void is 0.155 into radius of the atom. Radius of the sphere means radius of the atom. 0.155 into radius of the atom, I should say. Alright, that is the triangular void when the 3 atoms are arranged in this particular manner in a trigonal planar manner. Next, the cubic void. It is formed, this void is formed between 8 closely packed spheres arranged at each corners of the cube. Alright, 8 closely packed spheres arranged at each corner. You can see a cube is there, and in between the middle one, where the arrow is pointing, the middle one, there the void is being formed. Clear? And the radius of this particular void is 0.732 into radius of the atom. Radius of the sphere means radius of the atom. So tetrahedral void already we have studied. The radius of the void was 0.225 into radius of the atom, and octahedral void was that is nothing but 414 into radius of the atom. We can say that already we have studied. So if you arrange it in the increasing order, so first you will be getting 0.155 into radius of the atom, that is trigonal void. Then tetrahedral is 0.225 into radius of the atom, that is tetrahedral void. Then octahedral is 0.414 into radius of the atom, that is octahedral void. And lastly the cubical void, which is a bigger one, which is 0.732 into radius of the atom, we can get it. So in this way, this is the increasing order of the size of the different voids which is being formed when the atoms are arranged in a close packing in a crystalline solids. We can say that the voids are being created. Clear? So now coming to the next is your effect of temperature and pressure on coordination number. Got it? You know what is a coordination number? That is number of nearest neighbors or touching particles. Touching particles means that is so to say the how many particles are touching a particular atom, that is said to be as touching particles. The number of nearest neighbor or touching particles with other particles present in a crystal lattice is called its coordination number. I mean how many atoms is touching a particular atom in a crystal lattice, it's called as nothing but coordination number. So it depends upon the crystal. For BCC and FCC it is 6, 8, 12 in this way. Got it? Clear? For an ionic crystal it is represented by A is to B, where A and B are the coordination number of cation and anion respectively. Listen carefully. For ionic crystal, for ionic compound, it is represented by A is to B, where A and B are the coordination numbers of cation and anion respectively. For example, NaCl is equal to 6:6. CSCl is 8:8. Zinc sulfide is 4:4. Calcium fluoride CaF2 is 8:4, and sodium oxide Na2O is 4:8. The coordination number is for ionic crystal is. Got it? Now what is the effect of temperature on this particular coordination number? You know, as the temperature increases, the coordination number decreases. Why? Because ions move away from each other. Alright, when the temperature increases, the ions will move, they will gain energy and they will move away from one another. Intermolecular force of attraction is going to decrease. Since the coordination number decreases. Alright, so when CSCl 8:8 is heated to 760 Kelvin, its structure is it gets converted into NaCl, that is 6:6. Very simple. When you are heating a particular ionic solid, the intermolecular force of attraction decreases and hence the ions moves far apart from each other. Due to its coordination number decreases. For that reason, that is CSCl when it is heated at a temperature of 760 Kelvin, its structure changes to NaCl, 6:6. But it is opposite. When the pressure is increased, the coordination number also increases because ions comes closer to each other. When pressure will be increased, the ions will come closer to each other. Example, when pressure of 6 to 7 atm is applied on NaCl, 6:6 coordination number, that is structure, is converted into structure of CaCl, 8:8. Opposite it is. On increasing temperature, CaCl gets converted into NaCl. On increasing pressure, NaCl gets converted into CaCl. So to say, remember this particular one, very important. Now next is coming to the Weiss indices. Got it. Now after studying the radius ratio, packing fraction and all these things, what you find is that is we are having that is Weiss indices. Now what is that Weiss indices? The ratio of intercepts cut on x, y and z axis by the plane of a crystal lattice is called Weiss indices. I have sent you an AV regarding this. You have gone through it also. Just the theoretical part I am saying you. The ratio of intercepts cut on x, y and z axis by the plane of a crystal lattice is called Weiss indices. That it will given to you what is the ratio of intercepts of x, y and z. Don't worry about it. Miller's indices is what? The ratio of reciprocal of intercept. Ratio of intercept is x is to y is to z is your Weiss indices, and the reciprocal of it is known as Miller's indices. The ratio of reciprocal intercepts cuts on x, y and z axis by the plane of crystal lattice is called Miller's indices. Got it? So this you have to remember it theoretically. The definition is that, again I repeat, when a crystal lattice cuts x, y and z planes, it is cutting in a particular ratio, isn't it? Maybe 2:3:5, let us say. This is Weiss indices. But if it is Miller's indices, then it will be 1/2, 1/3, 1/5, reciprocal of it. Got it? In this way. Now in packing fraction, you have studied that we have got SCC, where the packing fraction is 52% nearly, face centered FCC and hexagonal close packing. Remember it, HCP, FCC and HCP and CCP are same, which is 74%, and body centered is 68%, and in case of diamond it is 34%. How it is 34%? Pi√3/16 you do it. That is, you solve it, you will be getting at the end pi√3/16, which is 0.34. It is 34%. I am saying packing fraction. Understood? Packing fraction I am saying to you. Alright, so in this way the packing fraction is calculated. Alright, so we have learned it about it. Now we will see the features of NaCl structure. Now this you have to remember these particular features. That is rock salt type, which is FCC arrangement. Already you know it. The number of atoms is 4. Then the number of what you can say ions are sodium ions are in octahedral voids, that is at the corners, at center, and one Na plus ion is at the center of the unit cell. Thus the number of Na plus ions per unit cell will be 12 into 1 by 4 into 1. Got it? That is 1 into 1, we can say that. So it will be coming to be as nothing but 12 into 1 by 4 is how much? That is 3. 3 plus 1 into 1. So it is 3 plus 1 into 1 is 4. So in this way 4 atoms we are getting it. Clear? Every unit cell contains 4 Na and 4 Cl minus ion, that is 4 NaCl molecules. Every unit cell contains this many. This is not the coordination number. This is the number of atoms per unit cell, which is Z. Remember it. The previous one was also Z, I said. Got it? So in this way. Now NaCl, that is coordination number, it is 6:6. Just now I said you. And the radius of Na and Cl minus ion is N95 by 181. If you do 0.52, you will be getting it. Examples of some more examples of NaCl type structure is, this is important, very important. You need to remember halides of NH4 plus and alkali metals, except those of cesium, because they have different, they have BCC, and oxides of sulfides of alkaline earth metals. Here also except BES and BeO, that is also is there different. Halides of Ag except AgI and FeO, we can say that. Clear? So they come under, that is what you can say, NaCl type structure. The example is important here. Rest of the things you have studied. Similarly, features of CaCl type you see, and just now I said you, it has got BCC arrangement in which chloride ions are vertices, while one cesium ion occupies the center of the cubic unit cell. Got it? So Cs and Cl minus ions coordination number is 8:8, and it has got one CS, what you can say, CaCl unit, that is Z is 1, and the radius ratio, similarly you will find it out. That is radius of Cs plus ions and radius of Cl minus ion. If you do, you will be getting it as 0.925. Got it? Radius of Cs plus ion by radius of Cl minus ion. If you do, you will be getting to be as 0.925. Example are CSBr, CSI, CSCN, TICL, TIBR, TII and TICN, we can say that. Clear? Then features of ZNS type. So zinc blend, or it is also called as fluorite or sulfide structure. It has FCC arrangement. So four atoms will be there per unit cell. Z value will be 4, and the number of sulfide ions indicates that every unit cell contains 4 octahedral and 8 tetrahedral voids. It's always double, you know that. Tetrahedral voids is zinc ions are present in half of the tetrahedral voids, that is 50%, and coordination number is 4:4. Radius is 0.40. How it is? 74 by 184 picometer. If you do, you will be getting to be as 0.40. The radius ratio will be getting to be as. Example is CuCl, CuBr, CuI, AgI, BO and BES. We can say that. Similarly, that is fluoride structure. It is quite important. That is fluoride structure, your calcium fluoride. Then it is also, that is CCP or FCC arrangement. So the number of atoms per unit cell will be 4. Z value will be 4. Thus the number of tetrahedral and octahedral voids per unit cell will be 8 and 4. That is, we can say that F ions occupy in all the tetrahedral voids, and Ca2 plus and F minus have 8:4 coordination number. Radius ratio is 0.73. Same way we find it out. There is radius of Ca2 plus ions, for radius of F minus ion you will get 0.73. Examples is SrF2, CdCl2, SrCl2, UO2, BaF2, THO2, PbF2 and HgF2. This is important, I am saying you. Anti-fluoride structure. That's opposite of fluoride. We can say that opposite of CaF2. It is written there. And example is Na2O, K2O, Rb2O, Li2O, K2S, etc. These structures have 4:8 coordination number. You can see in the fluoride structure you have got 8:4 coordination number. See here, see point number 5. Ca2 plus and F minus have 8:4 coordination number. But in anti-fluoride structure you can see what is written. This structure have 4:8 coordination number of ions, and hence it is called as anti-fluoride. We can say that. Similarly, the next one is normal spinel. Here spinel spelling, unfortunately it is wrong. SPINEL it is. I have corrected in another. I forgot to correct here. SPINEL, spinel structure. That is mineral MgAl2O4. It is called the normal spinel. It has FCC arrangement of O2 minus ions, while Mg2 plus ions are 1/8 of the tetrahedral voids, and Al3 plus ions occupy half of the octahedral voids. Some other compounds are given here. ZnAl2O4, FeCr2O4, Fe3O4 has normal spinel structure. Now it has a FCC arrangement of O2 minus ions. Got it? We are having O2 minus ions at the faces, Mg2 plus ions at the tetrahedral voids, and Al3 plus ions occupy the octahedral voids, means which is at the corners. We can say that. So these things basically you need to remember it. Got it? The normal spinel structure. Now the superconductors, what you can say, there are many what you can say on terms of conductivity, that is properties of crystalline solids. If you see the electrical properties of crystalline solids, we have got conductors, we have got insulators, we have got semiconductors, we have got N-type, P-type, that is intrinsic, extrinsic semiconductors. At the same time we have got superconductors also. Now these superconductors, you know, that is it conducts at a temperature, that is substance starts behaving as superconductor when is known as transition temperature. So most of the metals having transition temperature very low, that is between 2 to 5 Kelvin. So it is given here what is the transition temperature of different metals, it is given here, and accordingly the superconductors is being given. It was first found by Cambril, what you can say, Onnes, in mercury at 4 Kelvin. In mercury you find it out the superconductivity, that is he first discovered, that Cambril Onnes. So these substances have no resistance for the flow of electricity and thus behave as infinite conductivity. Definitely superconductor means that definitely there is no resistance. Resistance is 0, we can say that. Hence the conductivity is maximum. Of course this is quite hypothetical, this condition is. Alright, but nowadays we are using it under certain conditions. So superconductors is being found used in electronics, in power and levitation transportation, and we can say in building super magnets. And in building super magnets, superconductors is being used. More of it you will be studying in physics about it, where the resistance is 0 and the conductivity is maximum, that is 100%, we can say that. But it behaves as a superconductor. It is transition temperature which is very low. The transition temperature is given for many superconductors. You can see for many metals it is being given, so you can go through it. Now next is a Curie temperature. The temperature at which a ferromagnetic substance changes into a paramagnetic substance is called a Curie temperature. Got it? For example, Curie temperature of Fe3O4 is 856. It is changing from ferromagnetic into a paramagnetic substance. Ferromagnetic, that is it is a good conductor. It is of magnetism, we can say that. That means it behaves as a strong magnet. Got it? Even if that is in the absence of any external magnetic field. That means they show permanent magnetism even in the absence of any external magnetic field, we can say that. And paramagnetic substance means they are weakly attracted to the magnetic field. They are called paramagnetic substances. So the temperature at which a ferromagnetic, that is permanent magnet, changes into a temporary magnet, a weak magnet, is known as Curie temperature. The temperature at which antiferromagnetic substance changes into paramagnetic substance is called Neal's temperature. Antiferromagnetic, this also you know it. It has got large number of unpaired electrons. Half of them have clockwise and other half have an anti-clockwise spin. Thus they possess zero magnetic moment. Alright, that is called antiferro. Large number of unpaired electrons in which half is clockwise and half is anti-clockwise, we can say that. Clear? And due to this reason the net magnetic moment is zero. So the temperature at which these substances gets converted into paramagnetic substances, that means a weak magnetic substances. Got it? The antiferro is zero magnetic moment, net magnetic moment is zero, but it changes into a weak magnetic substance, we can say that, at a particular temperature, and that temperature is called as a Neal's temperature, so to say. Okay, so this is all about